What does audio perception disorders have on me? Well, audio perception disorders, or speech impediments as people like to call them, I personally had a speech impediment when I was in school, and I do not remember exactly what it was for, but I do remember getting pulled for speech therapy with our speech language pathologist that was at the school that I went to. And I'm also friends with lots of speech pathologists, especially with being a special ed teacher and having friends when I was in school that went to speech. And I even have friends that still go to speech therapy today, even as adults. But as far as talking with somebody who does not have any education experience about somebody that does have audio perception disorders, I would say they have these particular individuals have issues with understanding written and verbal language. Sometimes they just don't understand what you're saying, and sometimes they just can't get it out. From articulating the sound, the place, and the matter of the articulation, to understanding the semantics of the situation, the meaning behind when words are said, and the way they are put together and stuff. To also understanding the pragmatics of the pragmatic communication, understanding and interpreting how you express your intentions, and a lot of that has to do with the social interaction with people. I like the example that was in our textbook about the student teacher who said something about please come to the table to her students. Well, her students didn't quite understand what that meant until she put please by the end of it. They were just looked very puzzled. But as far as positives and negatives to audio perception disorders, positives, they can be corrected with speech therapy. A lot of them, most of the time they can't, unless there is a particular, I guess a physical disorder or physical, not really abnormality, but a physical disability that impacts their ability to properly articulate words. Then, a lot of those things cannot be corrected. But most of the time, if it's just, one little sound, like the R sound a lot of people struggle with, then that can be corrected with proper speech therapy. That's not a major deal. And then a lot of them can grow out of it on their own. A lot of that just has to do with maturity and growing up, and sometimes people are just slow to develop, and some people are faster to develop. And then on the flip side, as far as negatives, audio perception disorders can cause increased anxiety, especially when students are finally able to understand that they don't speak sometimes like their peers do. I worked with high school kids, and I had a few of them that had speech disorders that were not receiving speech therapy, but did continue to have some of those issues when they were older. And it not necessarily did it affect their social life or anything like that, or have anxiety over it. But I can just see that if it was something any more severe than what it was, then they would have problems with that. And then also the negatives to it is if you do have major struggles and you didn't get to receive proper speech therapy in school, then in adult life, communicating with other people can be a problem. Out in public, when you're at a store and you have a question, sometimes people may not understand you. Or if you go to work at a job, your employers are not going to be able to understand you. So that's just my little reflection on audio perception disorders.